Hi guys, in this video I'll show you how to crochet a pumpkin. I give you 3 different variations of a pumpkin, so you can make a longer pumpkin, a flat pumpkin and a round pumpkin. So enjoy this video and have fun. You can basically do any shape and any size of a pumpkin. So I'm showing you how to make this longer pumpkin, but it's really easy to make this like flat pumpkin or the round pumpkin, and it's basically the same. The only difference is that you need a different amount of chains in the beginning and a different amount of rows. And I'll write the amount of rows and the amount of chains you'll need for the other 2 pumpkins in the video, so you can make all of the 3 versions. So you will need some yarn. This will be like the color of your pumpkin. So in here it is orange, but for this pumpkin I will use a lighter orange. You'll also need a green colored yarn for those like leaf things on the pumpkin, and a piece of wood for the thing in the middle here. You'll need a crochet hook, of course, scissors, and a needle to weave in the ends. And you'll need something to fill the pumpkin with. So yeah, let's get started. We need our yarn and make a slip knot. For making a slip knot, you take your yarn and cross it here, and then you'll go from here and take the yarn which is on the skein, take it, and then you'll pull the ends, and so you'll have this loop. So this is your slip knot. And for now we have to chain 32 chains. So to chain, we take our hook, insert it in the slip knot, and then we'll pull the yarn, and we go under the yarn from here, pull it through our slip knot, and yeah, that's our first chain. So we're going to repeat it 32 times. So grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then you repeat it until you have 32 of them. So I finished my 32 chains, and I have this little thing here. And now we are going to continue making half double crochets. So for a half double crochet, you go under the yarn and take it with your finger, and then you count 1, 2, and in the third chain you insert your hook, but here you have the yarn. Grab the yarn, pull it through. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. Grab the yarn again and pull it through all of them. So we're going to repeat. So under the yarn, take it with your finger, insert the hook into the chain, grab the yarn again. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Grab the yarn again and pull it through all of them. So one last time. We go under the yarn, have it here with our finger, go into the chain, grab the yarn again. We have 3 loops on our hook, grab the yarn again and pull it through all of them. And you will repeat the half double crochet stitch until you reached your last chain. So I nearly reached the end of the chains. So I just have one left, so yarn over the hook, insert the hook in the last chain, pull the yarn, so you have 3 loops on your hook, and then grab the yarn again and pull it through all of the loops. So we finished our first row of double crochets. You will continue making double crochets for the rest of the pumpkin, but you only crochet in the back loop. So by only crocheting in the back loop, we'll get this like ribbed texture of the pumpkin. And I'll show you how to do it. So first we chain 2. So we grab our yarn, and now you can see here these little like V's on your crochet. So I show you what I mean. Right here you have this. It looks like a V. So you insert your hook. Normally you would go on the both of those, but for crocheting in the back loop only, you only crochet into this loop, so only the back loop. So grab your yarn for your half double crochet, insert your hook, but not into both of them. You go just into the back loop. You pull your yarn until you have those 3 loops on your hook and pull the yarn through. So like we did in the first row. And then again, you have both of those loops here, but you only go into the back loop. And you will continue this until you reached the end of the row. So just going into the back loop and not into both loops, not into the front loop, just into the back loop. So continue making half double crochets back loop only until you reached the end of your second row. So I reached the end of my second row, and you can already see those like ribbed texture here. And the last half double crochet is a little bit different than the others, because for me I like it when the last half double crochet is not back loop only, not in the back loop, it is like a normal half double crochet. So you go on the both of the loops, pull the yarn through and make your half double crochet. So you don't have to do this. Basically you could also do like the stitch in your back loop, but for me, in my opinion, it looks cleaner when you do the last stitch just like normal and not into the back loop. But you can basically just do like you did before and make it in the back loop. But your edges will be cleaner if you do it like this. So for the third row, we chain 2, turn our work, and make half double crochets and still in the back loop. I've nearly finished my third row, and for the last stitch it's the same like the last stitch in the second row. You grab your yarn and make a half double crochet, but in both of the stitches. So you go on the both of them, grab your yarn and make a normal half double crochet, chain 2, turn your work, and continue making your half double crochets in the back loop only. Continue doing half double crochet back loop only until you've reached row 19. So I reached the end of row 19. This is what it looks like for me. And normally you would chain 2, but in this case you just chain 1, cut off the yarn and pull it through. But you don't cut like a short piece of yarn, you have to cut a long piece of yarn because we will use the end of the yarn to weave in the ends and connect all the parts until our little pumpkin is finished. So for me, I just have like this amount of yarn left, so I won't cut it off, I just pull it through and then pull it. So here we have 19 rows of half double crochet and we're finished. Not completely finished, of course, but we are finished crocheting. So now we need our needle to finish our pumpkin. So the pumpkin will be like this later. So at first I go with the needle in every stitch on the edge of my crochet piece. So here, going through. It looks like this. And now I just connect those two parts with the needle and the end of the yarn. So it will be like this when I finished. So for connecting those two parts, I go into the stitches we made and just connect them. So we will have one like so I reached the end of my pumpkin and it looks like this. Now we need some of this stuff. So we just take something of this and put it inside our little pumpkin. So this should be enough for my pumpkin, and now I will do the same on the top of the pumpkin like I did here on the other side. So I just sew it together. I just go into stitches with my needle and yeah, so like this it will get this pumpkin-like shape. So I sew the top of my pumpkin together and this is what it looks like. I really like this texture of the pumpkin, those like ribbed stitch. So your pumpkin should look like this. And then you take your needle and insert it into the pumpkin. And our goal is that the needle comes out at the other side of the pumpkin. But be careful, and don't lose your needle into your pumpkin. So you have to be really, really carefully. So here it is. Then we pull it through, because if we're doing this, our pumpkin gets this little, like, this hole on the top, and so it looks more realistic, in my opinion. So I just make a knot. I just go into my pumpkin for the knot, and so here's something like a loop, and then I go into this loop and pull it through. And now I can cut the yarn, and for cutting the yarn, I go into my pumpkin again, back to the other side, and then I cut the yarn, so I pull it a bit, and then I cut it very near at my pumpkin, so like this. So the yarn is into the pumpkin, and I don't have to weave in the end. So that's my nearly finished pumpkin. I just need this thing here in the middle and those little spirals. So for the spirals, we need our green yarn, make a slip knot, take your crocheting hook and insert the hook into the slip knot. And then we're going to chain 26. So 1, 2, 3, 25 and 26. So we have this chain, and then we're going to single crochet into the chains. So to single crochet, you insert your hook into the first chain and grab the yarn. We pull it through, so we have just 2 loops on our hook. Grab the yarn again and pull it through both of the loops. And then we repeat the single crochet, but we don't do a single crochet into the next chain. We do a single crochet into the same stitch we made our last single crochet. So insert your hook into the same chain you did before and make a single crochet. And then we go to the next chain. Insert our hook, grab the yarn. We have 2 loops on our hook. Grab the yarn again and pull it through both of the loops. And again, we put the hook into the same chain, pull the yarn, make a single crochet. And then in the third chain, we also insert our hook, grab the yarn, make our single crochet, insert the hook into the same chain, and make another single crochet. So we repeat doing 2 single crochets in each chain until we reached the end of our chains. So I reached the end of the chains, and I have this little spiral here. When you have reached the end of your chains, you make 1 chain, then take your scissors and cut the yarn. So now you're just going to pull the yarn, and we finished our little spiral. I'm going to make a knot with those 2 ends and a second one and a third one. Now we are going to use our hot glue. So for that, I just make a little of the hot glue in the middle of my pumpkin, like this, and then I put the spiral in the middle, and I use my crochet hook because it's hot glue and I don't want my fingers to be that hot. We're going to use some more hot glue, put it on top of the pumpkin, and then we take our piece of wood and place it in the middle. And this is what it looks right now. And I'm really happy with the end result. So now you can use your pumpkin to decorate in your room. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments how your little pumpkin turned out.